Welcome to this groundbreaking video introducing RHEL9, the latest version of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Join us as we explore the exciting new features, advancements, and improvements that make RHEL9 the ultimate choice for enterprise-grade Linux environments. Let's understand first, why should you learn about Linux? Linux is a critical technology for professionals to understand. Linux is in widespread use, worldwide. Internet users interact with Linux application and web server systems daily, by browsing the www and using e-commerce sites to buy and sell products. Linux is in use for much more than the internet. Linux manages point-of-sale systems and the world's stock markets, powers smart TVs and in-flight entertainment systems, and runs most of the top 500 supercomputers in the world. Linux provides the core technologies that power the cloud revolution and the tools to build the latest generations of container-based microservices applications, software-based storage technologies. In the modern data center, Linux and Microsoft Windows are the predominant operating systems. Linux use continues to expand in enterprise, cloud, and device spaces. Due to its widespread adoption, you have many reasons to learn Linux. A Windows user needs to interoperate with Linux systems and applications. In application development, Linux commonly hosts the application and its runtime. In cloud computing, both private and public cloud instances use Linux as the operating system. Mobile applications and Internet of Things, IoT, devices commonly run on Linux. When looking for new career opportunities, Linux skills are in high demand. What makes Linux great? If someone asks you what makes Linux great, then you have many answers to pick from. Linux is open source software. Being open source means that you can see all of how a program or system works. You can also experiment with changes and share them freely for others to use. The open source model means that improvements are easier to make, enabling faster innovation. Linux provides a command line interface, CLI, for easy access and powerful scripting. Linux is built around a basic design philosophy that users can perform all administration tasks from the CLI. It enables easier automation, deployment, and provisioning, and simplifies both local and remote system administration. Unlike many other operating systems, these capabilities were in the architecture from the start, and result in ease of use and stability. Linux is a modular operating system that is designed to easily replace or remove components. System components can be upgraded and updated when needed. A Linux system can be a general-purpose development workstation or a purposefully minimized software appliance. What is open source software? Open source software is software with source code that anyone can use, study, modify, and share. Source code is the set of human-readable instructions that are used to make a program. Code might be in interpretive form, such as a script, or compiled into a binary executable that the computer runs directly. Source code becomes copyrighted when created, and the copyright holder controls the terms under which the software can be copied, adapted, and distributed. Users can use the software according to its software license. Some software uses proprietary or closed source code that only the originating person, team, or organization can see, or change, or distribute. Proprietary licenses typically restrict the user to running the program, and provide limited or no access to the source. Open source software is different. When a copyright holder provides software under an open source license, they grant the user the right to run the program and to view, modify, compile, and redistribute the source to others, royalty-free. Open source licensing promotes collaboration, sharing, transparency, and rapid innovation, because it encourages more people to modify and improve the software and to share enhancements more widely. Open source software can still be provided for use for commercial purposes. Open source is a critical part of many organizations' commercial operations. Some open source licenses allow code to be reused in proprietary products. Anyone can sell open source code, but open source licensing generally allows the customer to redistribute the source code. Open source vendors such as Red Hat provide commercial support for deploying, managing, and building solutions that are based on open source products. Open source has many benefits for the user. Control. See what the code does and improve it. Training. Learn from real-world code and develop more useful applications. Security. Inspect sensitive code, and fix it even without the original developer's help. Stability. Rely on code that can survive the loss of the original developer. Types of open source licenses. The developers of open source software can license their software in different ways. The software license terms control how the source can be combined with other code or reused. To be open source, licenses must allow users to freely use, view, change, compile, and distribute the code. Two general classes of open source license are particularly important. Copyleft licenses are designed to encourage keeping the code open source. Permissive licenses are designed to maximize code reusability. Copyleft, or share-alike licenses, require that anyone who distributes the source code, with or without changes, must pass along the freedom for others to also copy, change, and distribute the code. The advantage of copyleft licenses is that they help to keep existing code, and improvements to that code, open and increase the amount of available open source code. Common copyleft licenses include the GNU General Public License, GPL, and the Lesser GNU Public License, LGPL. Permissive licenses maximize the reusability of source code. You can use the source for any purpose if the copyright and license statements are preserved, including reusing code under more restrictive or proprietary licenses. Although permissive licensing makes it easy to reuse code, it risks encouraging proprietary-only enhancements. Examples of permissive licenses include the MIT/X11 license, the Simplified BSD license, and the Apache Software License 2.0. Who develops open source software? Open source development today is overwhelmingly professional. Open source is no longer solely developed by an army of volunteers. Today, most open source developers work for organizations that pay them to participate with open source projects to construct and contribute the enhancements that the organization and customers need. Volunteers and the academic community still play a significant role and can make vital contributions, especially in emerging technology. The combination of formal and informal development provides a highly dynamic and productive environment. Who is Red Hat? Red Hat is the world's leading provider of open source software solutions, by using a community-powered approach to reliable and high-performance cloud, Linux, middleware, storage. The mission of Red Hat mission is to be the catalyst in communities of customers, contributors, and partners to create better technology the open source way. The role of Red Hat role is to help customers to connect with the open source community and their partners to effectively use open source software solutions. Red Hat actively participates in and supports the open source community. Many years of experience have convinced the company of the importance of open source to the future of the IT industry. Red Hat is best known for its participation in the Linux community and the Red Hat Enterprise Linux distribution. However, Red Hat is also active in other open source communities, including middleware projects that are centered on the JBoss developer community, virtualization solutions, cloud technologies such as OpenStack and OpenShift, and the Ceph and Gluster software-based storage projects, plus others. What is a Linux distribution? A Linux distribution is an installable operating system that is constructed from a Linux kernel and that supports user programs and libraries. A complete Linux system is developed by multiple independent development communities that work cooperatively on individual components. A distribution provides an easy method to install and manage a working Linux system. In 1991, Graduate student Linus Torvalds developed a Unix-like kernel that he named Linux, and licensed it as open source software under the GPL. The kernel is the core of the operating system and manages hardware, memory, and the scheduling of running programs. The Linux kernel is supplemented with other open source software, including programs from the GNU project, a graphical interface from MIT's X Windows system, and other open source components, such as the SELinux mail server and the Apache HTTP web server, to become a complete open source Unix-like operating system. A major challenge for Linux users is to assemble all these software pieces from many sources. Early Linux developers provided a distribution of pre-built and tested tools that users could download and install to quickly implement Linux systems. Many Linux distributions exist, each with differing support criteria. Generally, distributions have some common characteristics. Distributions consist of a Linux kernel and support user space programs. Distributions can be small and single-purpose, or can include thousands of open-source programs. Distributions provide a means to install and update the software and its components. The distribution provider supports the software, and ideally, participates in the development community. Red Hat Enterprise Linux Ecosystem. Red Hat Enterprise Linux, RHEL, is Red Hat's commercial production-grade Linux distribution. Red Hat develops and integrates open-source software into RHEL through a multi-stage process. Red Hat participates in supporting individual open-source projects. It contributes code, developer time, resources, and support, and often collaborates with developers from other Linux distributions, to improve the general quality of software for everyone. Red Hat sponsors and integrates open-source projects into the community-driven Fedora distribution. Fedora provides a free working environment to serve as a development lab and proving ground for features to be incorporated into CentOS Stream and RHEL products. Red Hat stabilizes the CentOS Stream software to be ready for long-term support and standardization, and integrates it into RHEL, the production-ready distribution. Fedora. Fedora is a community project that produces and releases a free, comprehensive Linux-based operating system. Red Hat sponsors and works with the Fedora community to integrate the latest upstream software into a fast-moving, secure distribution. The Fedora project contributes back to the open-source world, and anyone can participate. Fedora prioritizes innovation and excellence above long-term stability. Major updates occur every 6 months, and bring significant changes. Fedora supports releases for about a year, which means the latest 2 updates, making it less suited for supportable production use. Fedora remains the source of innovation for the entire enterprise Linux ecosystem. In general, packages start out in Fedora and are included into CentOS Stream only when they are considered mature in stability, security, performance, and customer demand. Extra packages for Enterprise Linux. A Fedora project special interest group, SIG, builds and maintains a community-supported package repository called Extra Packages for Enterprise Linux, EPL. EPL versions align with major RHEL releases, and enable RHEL customers to run workloads with software dependencies that are not supported in RHEL. EPL packages are not included in Red Hat support, but are equivalent to Fedora's level of quality. Typically, EPL packages are built against RHEL releases. EPL Next is an additional repository for package maintainers to build against CentOS Stream. This repository is useful when CentOS Stream contains an upcoming RHEL library rebase, or if an EPL package has a minimum version build requirement that is already in CentOS Stream but not yet in RHEL. CentOS Stream. CentOS Stream is the upstream project for RHEL. Development of the next RHEL version is transparent and open for community contributions that can directly influence the next release. Patches that are submitted to CentOS Stream are integrated faster to RHEL, to allow significant changes during the current RHEL version lifecycle. CentOS Stream is a continuous integration and delivery distribution, with tested and stable nightly builds. The CentOS project welcomes contributors worldwide to give RHEL derivatives the opportunity to contribute to CentOS Stream for their own benefit. The CentOS project also aims to promote sustainable open source software that responds faster to security exploits, emerging technologies, and changing customer requirements.